And good morning everybody, my name is Osa. We are playing Farm Sim 22 on Maypole Farm. The latest version has been released on Giants Mod Hub this week. I've played a few hours since last week, just messing around with grass contracts, and there seems to be an issue. But we'll discuss that in a while. We're waiting for our silage bales to ferment. They're at 96%. At this end of the stick, and that one also 96%. So I am going to jump into our little tractor, or our big tractor, since this is actually, oh crap, just over 250 or 47 horsepower. And we're going to connect to the bale trailer and head down to the store. Oh, so other stuff that happened. This trailer came up on extreme discount, so we bought that, and we managed to get our telly truck over here, which I think is over here. So we now have the telly truck here, and we can move pallets a lot more easily. This is doing fine. So yeah, not much has happened. I have been watching the prices of these fields over here. This one is now at plus 7.6%, which is about 10% cheaper than it was last week when we checked. And it seems the general price of those three fields, they seem to be tracking the same percentage increase or decrease, but they have been progressively dropping by 1 or 2% per game day. So a couple more days, they will probably become eminently worth buying. But I might buy them before then. Obviously I cut them in May, so I believe they're all at first stage growth, and I would need to buy them or at least the one I want, by the 3rd day of June, in order to still be able to fertilize it before it's ready to harvest. So that's the plan. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Ooh. So I've taken a contract in Field 104 in further analysis of what the deal is with grass contracts. Because of all of them, I have managed to complete one with the grass that's available on the field. Every other one has been noticeably short of grass. And at first I thought maybe it's my equipment that was doing it, but that didn't seem to bear fruit, since I then started using the contract equipment, but still it came up as missing sometimes by as much as 20 bales on the bigger fields. And yes, I made a mistake. We're going to have to go and get our baling equipment. I'll leave the trailer here. I'm sure the shopkeeper won't mind. That also not quite a plan. Okay. So we will be doing this contract with our own harvesting equipment, which is fine. I do have the equipment we need, and it's not a big contract. So we will need it's a hay contract, so that's we're not going to need to take the wrapper down to the field. Okay, so problem with contracts. My first thought was, okay, using the extractor was a bad idea, and that wasn't allowing me to complete the contract. It didn't create enough silage. That wasn't the case. So the next step I took was, well, maybe it's because I'm creating the 180 centimetre round bales, which are the biggest ones. Maybe I should try creating 125s and seeing if the contract is going on. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, someone's left a trailer here. We'll just sell that. Good morning, long hauler and M patchwork. So as I was saying, the next thought was maybe the contract was counting the number of bales you delivered and not the volume of bales that you delivered. But it didn't make any difference. It doesn't matter what size bales I deliver, the contracts were always failing. So, okay, it's not my equipment, it's not the number of bales I'm delivering, maybe it's something else. So now my latest thought is that it might be precision farming. So the end of last week I said, after baling field 53, that I don't think we're going to have enough bales. We didn't by about 16. And when I look at the field, it's 99% silty clay, and expected yield is 10% off. 52, same deal. 51, however, not the same deal. We were still short, but not quite so much. So I then unfortunately I did 3 fields in one shot. That one, which is minus 10%. That one, also minus 10%. That one's plus 10%, and we were short because they were all hay contracts delivered to the same place and just didn't deliver. This one, not enough. Short by about 1 bale, I think. Same with that one. And I think that one as well was short. Can't remember if I did that one. I don't think I've done 21. So I'm now going on the premise that the soil content, the contract is expecting 100% yield from the area that you're harvesting. But if you have bad soil, you're not going to make 100%. I'm also thinking that once these fields have been primed, there will be a plus 10% yield boost from the nitrogen that is added when you cut grass. So 104 has a very, very good soil content. So we're going to see if we actually end up with a good supply of grass and thus bales. I'm going to make big bales. Well, am I going to make big bales? I'll probably make big bales. It's just less travel that needs to be done. But if it looks like I can get an extra small bale at the end of it, we will. Because we're using a non-auto load trailer, so you can mix and match bale sizes on it. So that's the plan today, is we are going to harvest this field and see if we're at least close to delivering what the contract needs. And there'll be some, should I have a little bit more grass available or something like that. I'm getting better at it. Even if I have to hitch the trailer to the front of the tractor so the steering wheel axle is closest to the hitch. Now reversing in a cab, now that's a different kettle of fish. For right now we're good, I think. Okay. So, field 104 is just after the yard on the left. There's the yard on the left. So I'm guessing right. Ooh. I'm going to guess we go in there. It's probably the animal pasture. Yes, it is. Good grief. This is going to be a fun turn. Could use that shed, I guess, if we get really stuck. Okay, so once again with our batwing, and obviously using our equipment's going to take a little while, although the equipment we would have been given was a Valtra G with a front mower and the other mower that looks like that. Can't remember what technical name for those is, but anyway, those two. So yeah, about 7 meters width, which is approximately what. Okay, what happened there? Did I forget to turn it on back at the beginning? And I've just been driving over the grass and flattening it. Well, we're cutting it now. Okay. Yes, looks like I didn't turn it on, or I turned it on for a second. Blame the equipment. Key bounce caused it to turn off immediately. So a lot of the grass fields on this map are part of animal pastures, including our one. I suppose that does mean I can actually make this headland a little straighter than I did on the first pass. Okay. So having practiced driving close to the edge of the field, I must admit I do think that for when we get our big grass cutting equipment, I am going to be looking at something that swaths, because even when doing hay, it is trying to get into that corner, not making a very good effort. Pulling the grass away from the edge of the field does mean you get a lot easier access to, you don't end up throwing tedded grass out into the area of the field that you can't gather because you don't have access to this land. And also obviously when you're creating silage, being able to create windrows from the mower is a lot easier. So for the hay contracts, when I'm using their equipment and it has swath capabilities and they want hay, all I'm doing is I'm just putting the outside mower on swath. The inside mower I just leave to drop. Outside mower to row, inside to swath, whatever it is. And that way we pull the grass away from the hedgerow, so when we come down with the tedder, then we're not throwing grass into the hedge. Okay. No, it's I didn't turn it off. What I did was I pushed the button. I've got a problem. My side panel, I've had it since Farm Sim 17 came out. Well, probably about 6 months after Farm Sim 17 came out, I bought the side panel. So figure that to be 5-6 years. My mouse has the same problem. It suffers from key bounce. So what happens is I'll push a button to do something and I end up with a double click. So in the case of the side panel, it unfolds the equipment and then folds it straight back up again, or starts the equipment and immediately stops it. And it's annoying, but side panels cost a fair amount. You're talking, what, about $150 for the side panel. And a new mouse, I really should buy one. But I'm considering a USB mouse rather than a cordless mouse, just because they're a little bit more reliable. But you'll see that quite frequently, where I say, oh, I'm just going to do, and then nothing happens, or I connect to something and then immediately drop it. Okay, that's better. So yeah, during the interim before last week's episode, I bought the smaller Kubota tedder. Because I figured I don't need a tedder right now on my farm, but if I have a tedder I can do contracts with all my own equipment, so that's why I bought it. And on consideration I should probably have bought the bigger one, but I didn't, so need to reverse a little because we are way offline on that. There we go. And I will probably pay to get GPS dome and equipment installed on this tractor, because right now I could really make use of it and be a little bit more efficient in doing jobs like this. But that's another $15,000 for the GPS system, so we're not going to do that right away. It's interesting. It's quite amusing. The field is wider at this end than it is at the other end, but because of the angles that I've been cutting it, we're closer. Yeah, this row will finish this end, but will not finish the other end. So this is all for Science Plus. As we saw, we're at about 96% fermented on our silage bales. They should be done, I think, around 4 o'clock this evening, game time. So we're going to have to we're going to have to kill a few hours before that needs to happen. And I'm seriously intrigued. What is the deal with mowing contracts? We may also have an issue with harvesting contracts as well. Now, the way I've been completing the mowing contracts is to just say, look, there should be enough product for me to deliver. I'm not wasting anything. We've cut the entirety of this field plus the border. So there should be no issue with there being enough grass here to turn into hay and deliver. And there's the gate. So I'll go to the store, I'll buy some hay bales, and then I'll refund the cost of that just to get the contract finished. Because otherwise I'm wasting my time, it's penalising me. The new bulk pallets from 82, yes I did. Goes well with loader arms for a wheel loader, because you get into pallets that size and that's going to be quite an issue for something this big. But I did. I'm not sure about using them at this time. Although that said, we did that in the past with Oakfield Farm. I had those the wool pallets, which you stick them in the spawn point for the wool, and you can load up 32,000 litres of wool in one pallet. I think I had them set to 32. I think they went up to 64. They were commensurately heavier the bigger the pallet you picked, or size you picked. So your Valtra G with no weight on the back is not going to pick up the 32,000 litre wool pallet. But eventually when you are mass producing a lot of stuff, it does make it a lot easier that I don't have to travel to the store 20 times delivering tomatoes, wool, whatever else. And we have a lot more productions on this map. The other option I'm thinking is the 82 Studios TLX 2020 with the it's got a box attachment for the back which auto loads pallets and basically puts them in boxes, and maybe that would be a thing. Do what Virtual Farmer's doing with his on his Old Stream Farm map, where he's not using the auto load function except at a production facility, but the stuff coming from the farm in pallets, so like our tomatoes here, he's sort of using the rule I have to pick the tomato pallets up with a loader, but I can put the pallet on the back of the truck and have it auto load into boxes, and then when I get to the other end I'm delivering my grain to the bakery, and or I'm delivering my flour to the bakery, and guess what? The baker has a bunch of guys who can help unload the truck, so all's good. And then when you go and pick up the bread from the bakery, the baker's got a couple of guys who can load the bread onto the back of my truck, so I don't need loader arms to do it. And I think that's a fair oh, okay. That's Well, that's fair. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's it's a fair argument and helps you move the game along. I don't need to be loading 500 pallets on the back of a trailer because one, I'm not exceptionally good at it, and two, who wants to watch 3 hours of me loading pallets onto a trailer? It's a bit easier with the Teletruck because it has a shorter wheelbase and thus is a little bit more manoeuvrable. Oops, try not to hit the fake lamppost. I'm not sure if I checked the store today. We haven't had, apart from the little blue low loader thing, which only attaches to the back of the tractor, we haven't really had much else in the way of interesting things that would do the farm some good. And I'm really saving up for field 52 because that will be a grass field. If I buy it before the end of this month, I should be able to fertilize it, get one cut in July completely silage, and then potentially a second cut around October where we'll split it half hay, half silage. We'll have the straw from the barley that we're growing, and we can buy in some cows at that point. Yeah, that was the thing, because the other thing is with the Kubota pack, the Kubota equipment pack, should I say, which is what this Tedder on the back is. Tedder doesn't have an unrealistic mode because obviously it doesn't carry anything. But things like the spreader and the sprayer and I can't remember if there's something else, but they have an unrealistic mode, and